Okay, this is going to be part 6 of What If Shanks Trained Luffy. And I'm pretty sure we left off with like Arlong being turned in and the Straw Hats collecting a 20 million berry bounty. And sorry if you're buzzing in the background. I have a fan running. It's just too hot right now. We do not have one. And yeah. So the Straw Hats will end up partying after Luffy explains that Hachi isn't a bad guy because he had Nojiko patch up Hachi after Zoro kind of beat him. And Zoro's also being patched up properly by an actual doctor now, so he's doing a lot better. And yeah, so as Luffy is not partying, he's not part of the Straw Hats. Other Straw Hats are, well, Luffy's just in the doctor's building, waiting for Hachi or Zoro to wake up, because he's gonna make one of them look after the other, since they kind of hurt each other. And surprisingly to Luffy, it's Hachi that wakes up first, and Hachi's just gonna say that he wasn't fully asleep. He could still hear what was going on, and he was happy that Luffy was vouching for him, and for him to like stay alive and not be turned over to the government. And Luffy said that he knows Rayleigh, and Jinbei, so he knows that Hachi is just around bad guys. Hachi's gonna appreciate this, and that's what Luffy will say. So, in return for me letting you live, I want you to do two things. I want you to stay in this village and pull your weight around here. Everyone's gonna be surprised, and Gen's gonna argue this. That's when Luffy will kind of force like his conquerors onto him, and Gen will ultimately say, okay. So then Luffy said, that's what I was saying. So 1, pull your weight around here. 2, I want you to look after Zoro until we leave. Hachi's gonna say, alright, deal. And that's when Nami walks in and asks the doctor to remove the Arlong tattoo on her arm, since she didn't do the arm stabbing thing. And the doctor's gonna be like, okay. That's when Luffy will hand the doctor, I'm gonna say 500 berries, and say, yeah, but on her other arm, put a Straw Hat symbol. And he draws what the flag looks like, and he hands it to the doctor. And he's gonna say, tattoo that on all of our arms. And that's when the doctor's gonna say, okay. And Luffy will actually, I'm gonna say he's gonna get the tattoo on his chest instead, because, you know, Luffy. And if you guys know what his scar looks like, if you're caught up, it's a giant X. I'm gonna say that Luffy has like the tattoo like barely above the center of it, so the scar isn't touching it, but it's there above the scar. So yeah. Also, this is what Luffy looks like. Change his look up a bit. So it doesn't have that big of a gun. He's gonna have like a short rifle, big enough to carry around in his shirt. I'm gonna say it's like a short hunting rifle. And then where the gun is, that's gonna be a sword. You may recognize this. It's not that on the exact picture, but the design from the Dark King What Ifs, or the Dark King. I'm pretty sure that's his YouTube handle. Go check him out. I was inspired to do this from him. I finished the whole series in like a day. Yeah, go watch his What If Shanks trained Luffy, and What If Luffy was trained by Shanks and was overpowered. Amazing ass series. Go watch it. After this, of course. But when everyone's done with their tattoos, Zoro doesn't realize he got one since he was asleep. And Luffy considers Zoro the most loyal Straw Hat considering how he acted. Zoro still did the thing where he was like, I vow never to lose again. So Luffy ended up telling the old man with the doctor to give Zoro the Straw Hat on his heart. Oh, not like cut him open, tattoo his heart, like tattoo it over his heart, like on skin above his heart. And everyone's gonna be okay with this. Usopp not really, because still not as cool. But I like Usopp, he's cool. And the Sharks are still going to stay there for about the same 3 days. And Nami will bring Luffy to Bellemere's grave. Luffy does have a bottle of sake, and he's drinking it on the way there. I'm gonna say he's not drunk, but he's like getting there. I'm not like stumbling, can walk by himself, all that. And Nami will give like her whole backstory to Luffy on like who Bellemere was to her. And Luffy will just pour the sake on the grave and just say one word: respect. And then he'll just leave the bottle there. I'll kind of make Nami smile. That's when other shots come up, and Zoro woke up during this because he kind of woke up to his chest hurting and realized it's just Straw Hat tattooed there. And he'll ask the others about it. They'll say, "Yeah, we all got one." So yeah, they all walk up with bottles of sake. Zoro with the biggest, they'll all pour some of it on the grave and leave it there. That's when Nami's just gonna laugh, take a drink from Luffy's sake, and put it back down. And when everyone starts leaving, Nami wants to talk to Luffy and will ask Luffy to stay there and talk with her for a little bit, because she wants to thank Luffy. And when Nami tells Luffy what she was planning to do if she thought he was wrong, took down Arlong, basically tells him what she was gonna do. Basically, it was the same what she was gonna do in canon. What she did in canon, she was telling Luffy that she would have done that if he wasn't strong enough. And Luffy's gonna be like what you did, I'm coming back for my crewmate. And that's when she'll randomly just kiss Luffy, not like on the cheek, mouth. Sanji like turned around because he heard Nami crying and just sees this. He's about to yell, but Usopp will just cover his mouth and drag him along. And 3 days are up, except the only thing that didn't change was Luffy actually let loose around his crew because he wasn't uptight trying to like train them 24/7. And the crew convinced him to like loosen up and be his goofy self, and that they can take on serious training without him being as serious. And that's when he just tells Nami that she does need to learn a little bit of hockey, since she could have actually been a lot more help. And he's gonna agree to this. That's when Luffy will like, I'm gonna add a observation ability to Luffy that he can just tell whether someone has certain types of hockey. This is when he realizes that Usopp barely has any ornament hockey, or barely has any sense for ornament, while Nami has none. That's when he tells them that, and Usopp's just gonna say, well, I'm going to learn as much ornament as I can. And so Nami will say, then I guess it's my job to master observation. And Luffy will just have that giant cheeky grin he usually has, and is like, okay. And he tells Usopp that you're going to still practice with Sanji, but you're going to be blindfolded this time. And then he tells Sanji it's not your job to dodge anymore. It's your job to deflect them back. So this is going to be observation and armament training. And then he tells Usopp how to focus on armament, and Usopp will do good for the first try, since he's just going to give him a step to do visible ornament. And it is going to make like a large crater when he does a lead star. Usopp's going to be like, I'm not using a lead star on Sanji. So that's when Luffy will say, that's why you're going to still use the rubber balls. And he hands like softer ones to Usopp. I say he found some in the village and bought them. And yeah. So, and Luffy's gonna personally train Nami on well, she knows he's not a Zoro trainer since he realizes she uses a staff, Zoro uses a sword. So they're both like mid-range weapons and can be used for close range. And Luffy will actually try to learn, will train by himself. And this is like the last day before they, there's the last day on the island. And they're just spending it training. Luffy's trying to practice, advanced ornament. He has a good grip on, advanced observation to the point where you can see at least 2 seconds into the future. Pretty sure that's what Katakuri can do, but it's like 4. Yeah. And that's when Luffy will basically, he will actually get a good grip on it. Like, he's gonna be, by the end of the day, he can use advanced pretty well, but it's not like he can summon it all the time. But you know how you can like spam ornament, but basic ornament, after like post time skip you can spam it. You can spam visible. He's not at that level with advanced, but he can do it. I wanna say if he's in a fight, he can do it at least, like a serious fight, he can do it at least 10 times in a serious fight. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that he can do it a limited amount of times before he runs out of energy. And when the crew leaves and Nami doesn't do the run and jump thing, actually she does. I found that pretty cool. But she didn't use do a pole vault onto the ship. She almost falls, but Luffy will just like grab her arm and yank her. He's gonna have Sanji catch her, since he knows that Sanji's kind of mad at what him and Nami did. So yeah. And who was it that they met? I need to check who they met. Excuse me, that was my bed. I'm gonna check on my Switch. I'm rewatching the show. For the sake of this, what if? Actually, it's not that important, but detail matters. Who they do meet is a guy with the the green the small guy in the treasure chest with the green afro. They still do meet him and stuff. I just want to check his name because I forgot it. I'm a stickler when it comes to forgetting stuff, since I do it pretty frequently. Yeah. They still do meet Gaimon, and Buggy's not going to be like launching the water, but he is still going to end up meeting Gaimon after this tries to do. Still going to do the same thing, but this time Luffy will like paint a straw hat on the treasure chest, like color and everything. Like just a small sketch. He's going to paint it on there and leave it there. Then he's going to put like a tiny banner showing that this is the Straw Hat's territory. And Buggy will throw a fit since he lost to Luffy so easily, and he fell overboard and drifted there. Gaimon did perform CPR, which kind of aggravated Buggy. I said Luffy, my bad. I think I did. But Buggy threw a fit after losing to Luffy so easily. And he ended up on the island. He shares a drink with Gaimon after Gaimon says, guess we're part of the same pirate crew. Or guess I'm under the protection of that crew. So Buggy will see the banner and be like, well, I guess this island is under my protection as well. And Buggy's gonna stay there for like a day until Gaimon and the animals will help him build a raft. And as he's on the raft, he actually does have like a good supply of nuts and berries. And with the animals' help, it's like a proper raft, not like the log and then one sail. It's gonna be like kind of like neatly compact and normal, kind of like it's like a tiny kayak. It's like a kayak, but with the sail. Yeah. He does meet up with Alvida, and Alvida will talk about beating Luffy, but Buggy will talk her down after Buggy will tell her if Luffy was fighting you, probably didn't go all out because your devil fruit won't make you immune to everything if he has Haki. She's gonna be discouraged from fighting him and be like, okay. That's when Buggy will ask her to join his crew, since he actually did start using a little bit of Haki because he wants to end up beating Luffy. Alvida will end up picking up Haki training as well from Buggy. Some say that that's right, we need power. And that's when Nami will suggest that they go to Logtown since they passed the island. Luffy will actually agree with this, saying he was gonna suggest that either way, since he needs to stop there to check out Roger's gravesite and to meet someone before he ends up going to the Grand Line. Guys aren't gonna question it. They're gonna be like, this guy knows a lot of people. He probably is meeting someone powerful. He's not. Let me say he's been there before because of like Shanks and Garp. And I'm gonna say Garp brought Luffy there to talk him down from being a pirate, and said that if you become a pirate, this is where you're gonna be buried or executed. Luffy said, okay. This is a flashback, by the way. Luffy said, okay, I'll be executed here when I become king of pirates. Garp is gonna be like, I didn't say that so you can plan where you die. And Luffy is just gonna laugh, and so is Shanks. And Shanks, I'm gonna say it, Luffy was brought here when he was 12, so he had Ace and Sabo with him. And they all just like hopped up onto the ledge, and they all yelled to the King of Pirates. I was choking. And attracted some attention, and they were chased down until Shanks used Conquerors on the Marines. Yeah. And Luffy is like back in normal time, and tries to see him with like a big goofy grin, just like chuckling to himself. They're gonna find that cute since Luffy's like pretty sure Luffy is like the second youngest in the crew next to Chopper. Cause they're looking at Luffy like a little kid, even Usopp, even though they're the same age. But yeah. So when they get there, everything mostly goes the same. So I want to add one thing. Zoro doesn't have a bad sense of direction. He's actually improved it with observation hockey. So he does know where the ship is and everything. When he walks to the swordsman shop, or swordsmith, blacksmith, I don't know what it's called. But I say that Zoro actually started studying to be more knowledgeable with swords, because he found Luffy's sword interesting, saying that's probably on the power of a black blade, and I'm gonna say that one of Arlong's treasures was like a book on legendary swords, and this is where Tashigi sees Luffy's ship, and she reports it to Smoker. Smoker's gonna say, Smoker's just gonna announce this to every Marine on the island. Don't engage in combat with the Straw Hats. Only him and Tashigi have the authority to. Tashigi's gonna ask why, and this is when he'll put down the wanted posters for the Straw Hats. And this is just gonna be from the Marines what they saw. And the Marines did take pictures of the crew, and they found out the names of the pirates from just having like 2 Marines eavesdrop on the island. Cat Burglar Nami, bounty of 30 million. And Usopp did claim himself as a great warrior of the sea, just not Captain Usopp. So Usopp is going to be the warrior Usopp, bounty of 50 million. Black Lake Sanji, bounty of 50 million. Heart Hunter Zoro, bounty of I'm gonna say 75 million. And Straw Hat Luffy, bounty of 380 million. 70 million, because he collected 20 million berries from Arlong. The bounty was 350 million at the 20 million. Yeah. So he's gonna be intimidated and say, "Can we even handle them?" Smoker's gonna say, "If I'm being honest, you probably can't even lay a hand on Luffy. But we have to try, because we're the main reason pirates stay off this island." And Tashigi does bump into Zoro, and he doesn't crush her glasses. He realizes that he's about to, and there's like a tiny crack in them. Rats aren't gonna pull an excuse like we don't have any money and all that. They have 20 million berries, well 20.5 million. Since Nami had like 1 million stored away. And yeah. So after Zoro bumps into Tashigi, he's gonna hand her, I'm gonna say 600 berries, and say, "Do whatever you want with this. Sorry about your glasses." And she's gonna hand the money back to him and say, "Hey, you ever pay me? Why don't you walk me to the swordsmith?" But Zoro's gonna be like, "Okay, I was heading there either way." And Zoro will pick up and say, I forgot which blade is cursed. I'm gonna say it's Kitetsu the Third. He's gonna pick up Kitetsu the Third, and Tashigi is about to say, I think that Zoro will interrupt her and saying, "The cursed blade Kitetsu the Third kills almost any wielder within the span of a week." He's gonna be surprised that Zoro knows this, and she's gonna say, "Well, that blade is pretty expensive, so why don't you put it back?" And she also says, "Not to add on, you're probably gonna die." And Zoro will do the thing where he's gonna be like, "How about we test its curse with my luck?" The sword isn't gonna cut Zoro, and he keeps it. He'll hand the owner 730,000 berries, like he tried to scam Zoro for. 730,000 berries. He tried to scam Zoro for that. Zoro just gave him that much. And after the shopkeeper's like, "If you can handle that, if that blade can't beat your luck, take Yubashiri. It's not a cursed blade, but it's also a legendary one." Zoro's gonna accept it and say, "Why not? It sounds cool." And he puts all 3 in his pouch. Well, in his old sheaths. Let's say he gave Yubashiri a different one. It kind of looks like Shusui's, like that he gets when he meets like Brook. When he meets Brook's shadow. Similar to that, but not the exact same. Yubashiri can get one of his old sword. Can get his other sword that broke. Sheath. It's not special. It is, but Zoro doesn't see it as that. But yeah. When they get outside, Tashigi will end up putting on a different pair of glasses, and then she's gonna say this: Pirate Hunter Zoro, I challenge you to a duel. I want to see your three-sword style. Zoro's gonna say, I'm gonna say, I don't have time for this. I have to get back to my crew. And she's gonna say, sorry, but I can't allow that. Zoro is just gonna draw Kuina's sword. She's gonna say, I don't see your three-sword style. Zoro's gonna say, I can tell you don't have 1 ounce of hockey in you right now. So until you can get that, you can only face my one-sword style. She's gonna get frustrated at that, try to bum rush Zoro, and Zoro's just gonna rush right through her. The classic thing Zoro's gonna do. Ooh, and it's just gonna show that Kuina's blade ended up being chopped in half, and she's gonna have like a large cut like on her chest, probably barely below the collarbone, barely below that. It's not gonna be like he had to cut her in half or cut that part off. It's just gonna be like when you get like a paper cut, it's gonna be like that thin of a cut. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, hey, take this as a sign that I'm above you in almost every way. Not almost, in every way. She's gonna fall to her knees and accept that, and she's gonna stay there for a while. Luffy ends up going back to the bar because he's met the bartender before, since he knows Shanks, and Shanks took him to meet the bartender. The bartender's gonna welcome Luffy. And I'm gonna say Luffy gave him a million berries, so the bar wasn't shut down. I'm gonna say Luffy actually likes this bar and has it as a special place in his heart. Bartender's gonna be like, I can't accept this. Luffy's gonna say, you are, is gonna say you can and you will. So upgrade this bar, clean it out. And Luffy said that just one tip, change the name of the bar, but you can have a sign inside. Bartender's gonna accept that because he's gonna know that the sign is taking away his business. And when he leaves, Smoker's there. And Luffy gets out, exits the bar. He's gonna see Smoker there. Smoker is gonna yell straight at Luffy, freeze. Luffy's gonna use gear second on his arm and grab Smoker's jute, and is just gonna throw it to the other end of the island. Well, Logtown. And Smoker's gonna be like, I can't even see him. Luffy will just turn off gear second, and then he's just actually gonna run up to Smoker. And you've seen how fast Luffy is in gear second in the anime or manga. You know how fast he is. And Luffy's base speed that even uses double fruit is that fast. So gear second is probably lightning speed. You shouldn't. No. Actually, I'm gonna say it's barely above the speed of sound. And Luffy's just gonna use his basic speed and grab Smoker by the neck. He's gonna hit Smoker in the head, hold him by his hair, and just hit him in the gut, knocking him out right then and there. He's just gonna see that Zoro also knocked out Tashigi. Because Zoro knocked out Tashigi because he didn't like seeing us. Because Zoro saw Tashigi on her knees. He's just gonna say Swordsman shouldn't be seen in such a pathetic position and knock her out, and then carry her to the marine outpost and drop them both off there. The Marines aren't gonna try anything because they heard what Smoker said. And then we're gonna go to Sanji. He still wins the cooking competition, but he's not gonna be punked by by Carmen's two guards. Each time they try to punk him, he's just gonna kick them square in the jaw. They're cock blocks. But yeah. Sanji still wins the cooking competition, but he forces Carmen not to forfeit. He wants to challenge her fair and square. Still wins fair and square, and we're gonna go to Nami. The outfits she tries on, she buys most of them. And she's going back to the ship, and she sees Sanji carrying his fish that he won. And Sanji sees Nami carrying all the outfits. She sees Sanji get like a slight bloody nose, and she's just gonna kick him in the shin as hard as she can. He's just gonna wince in pain and just like hop on one foot to the ship. And we're gonna go to Usopp. He's still gonna fight Daddy the Parent. I don't feel comfortable saying that. I'm gonna say he was known as Daddy the Marine at first. I'm just gonna call him. I'm just gonna call him the Parent. Usopp has at this point does have enough money to buy the goggles. 20 million berries. You should have enough. It's like $20 million. You should have enough money to buy most of the things you want. And Luffy will take, not Luffy, Usopp will take the goggles, and this one little girl will say, "Hey, mister, I want those goggles off you." Because that's what Usopp's gonna say. "Hey, if you want them off me, you're paying me double." And the girl's gonna say, "Sorry, I don't have that much money, so she give them to me." And Usopp's gonna say, "Sorry, you can't have them then." She's gonna say who her dad is, and Usopp's gonna be like, "I don't know who the hell that is, but I don't care." She's gonna be shocked by this, and is just gonna tell her dad. And this is when, and I'm gonna say, this isn't important, but Buggy arrives, and is like, and is kind of like growing suspicious of Luffy, because he sees the ship there, and is wondering why he's here. Alright, to Usopp. A parent arrives with a little girl, and is like, "My daughter wants the goggles, give them to her." Usopp's gonna say, "Hey, if you want them, you can pry them from my cold dead hands, because I can see you're locked and loaded." The parent's gonna be like, "You sure want to do this?" And Usopp's gonna be like, "I'm very sure I want to do this." And there's gonna be a duel. 10 steps, turn around, fire. The moment the duel starts, Usopp takes his 10 steps, parent takes his 10 steps. Usopp's gonna turn around a lot faster, and so is the parent. Usopp's gonna dodge every bullet and shoot him with a Tabasco star. He's gonna force his way into the parent's mouth, and the parent's just gonna gasp for air since it's so hot. Tabasco star. Really hot. And the parent is just gonna be on the ground wheezing for air while like animation fire is breathing out of his mouth. And that's when Usopp will dig for something. I would say he has like a water star. That's just gonna be like a distraction, like a decoy star. Usopp is just gonna like break it, like gonna crack it open in the parent's mouth, and it's gonna like simmer down. The parent is gonna say, I haven't been beaten like that since I fought Yasop." And Usopp is just gonna say, "Like father, like son." The parent is just gonna say, so you're the pirate's son." They're just gonna say, I wouldn't have expected nothing less." And Usopp's actually gonna shake his hand and leave as like a sign of respect. Buggy will meet Luffy, and that's when Luffy will see him, and Buggy will say, "What the hell are you doing here, Straw Hat?" And that's when Luffy will just tell Buggy, "Respect your captain." Buggy would like fall into line, like arms at his side, legs together. He's just gonna say, "Yes, sir." But that's when Luffy will say, "If you're here to like go shopping or something, be careful. The Marine captain here is actually pretty powerful. So I'm saying you probably have 30 minutes before he wakes up, and his one of his subordinates is also pretty powerful. I'm gonna say you have an hour-ish. You have an hour if you end up beating Smoker miraculously. Boogie's gonna say, okay, I can deal with that. And that's when Luffy will say, who's the new person? And Sanji's gonna like, I guess, fawn over her. And that's when she says, remember me, I'm Alvita. Luffy will like cringe and walk up to Sanji and just close his mouth. And that's when Luffy will say, Sanji, don't be fooled by that. Her devil fruits is only making her look like that. And then he's just gonna tell Sanji what she looked like before, and Sanji is just gonna like have the most disgusted face you'd ever see. Sanji is just gonna say, I'm gonna go back to the ship. And Alvita's gonna try to hit Luffy. Luffy will like cut his arm in ornament hockey and hit her square in the gut. That's just gonna knock her out cold, and she's just gonna be lying there. Luffy will like wrap up Usopp, Nami, and Zoro in his arms, and just gonna jump onto the ship and sail. The filler episode where it's like Luffy has to protect that old man dragon, that's still gonna happen, all that. And I'm not gonna go into that because filler. I'll make like a bonus episode that's probably gonna be like 10 minutes going through the arc after if I rewatch it. But yeah, the Strats do end up going to Reverse Mountain. But Luffy is actually gonna reveal he's never been here before. They're actually gonna be like, what do you mean? You've been in the Grand Line? Luffy's gonna say, there's multiple ways in the Grand Line. I just didn't take this one. They're gonna be like, let's look at the other one then. Luffy's gonna say no, and he's gonna rocket them up the mountain a little bit. And that's when they come down the mountain, and Luffy will say, it looks like a giant whale down there, or a mountain, I can't tell. And that's when they're about to crash into it, and when the jaws are about to shut, Luffy will like shoot his arms out and just hold it open. And that's when he'll see Crocus. No, he's not gonna see Crocus. He's actually gonna fail, and like his arms like give in because Laboon's bite strength is gonna be more than that, and it's just gonna make Luffy's ship go inside. Luffy will like end up inside the boat, and it's gonna see Crocus, and Luffy's just gonna like go into his room and go through a book. I say Shanks gave him a book for like the old Roger pirates. I'm just gonna say, now I know why you look familiar. You're Crocus from the Roger pirates. Crocus is gonna be surprised that someone recognizes him just like that. As far as I'm gonna say, that old man was a Roger pirate. And that's when Luffy will say, if my memory serves correct, you were the medic, according to Shanks. Crocus is just gonna give the rundown, say, yeah, yep, that's true, and all that jazz. And this is when he sees Vivi, and I believe his name was Mr. Nine, trying to kill Laboon from the inside. Luffy's gonna shoot his arms out and just hold them by their necks and bring them into the ship. Nine's gonna be like, wait, I know you, you're trying Luffy. Vivi's gonna say, I don't know who the hell that is, but he better leave. And that's when Luffy will say, if you guys think you're a match for me, I can just snap your necks right here and now. That will just stop, and Luffy will have I forgot what it was, but the thing Gold Roger had where he could hear everything, living or non-living. He's gonna hear that Laboon says he wants to challenge him. Luffy's not gonna do the thing where he smashes the middle piece of the ship into Laboon's skull. He's just gonna use jet pistol and fire it straight into Laboon's head. Laboon is just gonna like be dazed. That's when Luffy will also jump on his back with paint and just paint a straw hat symbol on it. I'm gonna give Luffy the benefit of the doubt and say in the canon it didn't look as good because of Laboon's scars. I'm giving Luffy the benefit of the doubt on that one. And Luffy will end up leaving sooner since he doesn't have to deal with anything else. And they will get caught in a snowstorm still, and they will arrive at Whiskey Peak, but because they're gonna see it's like a cactus island, and when they arrive, Luffy like uses observation to sense out the whole island. Then he's gonna whisper to his crew, saying those aren't like the spikes that cacti usually have. Those are gravestones. And the rest are gonna be surprised. And Luffy will ask the name of the island again to the mayor. That's when he says, "Oh yeah, it's called Whiskey Peak." Luffy will whisper to his crew again and says, "Yeah, I've heard about this place. This is a resident here's a bounty hunter." So I have to like freeze these, and that's when Luffy will say, "Hey, most of them rely on brute strength or guns, and considering that we all can use observation hockey, it shouldn't be too hard." They still do drink and everything, but Luffy will like make them not drink as much, so they can still stay awake and cautious. They're still a little bit drunk, but they can still do enough to the point where they can remember what happened. And that's when like the really buff girl is gonna walk in and say, "Sorry, we're going for your heads." She's gonna try to like hit Luffy in the head. Luffy is just gonna literally put up two fingers, both them in like invisible ornament hockey, and just hold her back with those. He's gonna like let her like move them back. He's gonna use visible ornament hockey and just shoot them out again, shattering every bone in her hand. And this is where Zoro will like use the hilt of his blade and just hit her in the gut with it, knocking her out cold. And every other bounty hunter tries to fight them, and Luffy's actually gonna laugh and say, "You guys are weak enough. I'm just gonna let Nami and Usopp handle you." They're gonna take slight offense to this, but they're still gonna beat them up either way. We will need like a little assistance from Sanji. And the power scale on the ship is gonna be Luffy at number 1, Zoro at number 2, Sanji at 3. Then there's going to be Usopp at number 4. If Usopp didn't have like the different variety of stars, he would actually be below Nami. So Nami's at number 5. So she's the weakest on the crew. And Usopp actually bought more stuff. So after they beat them, they were available to take Vivi onto the ship still. And they're leaving Whiskey Peak. They still do have Vivi. Also, we're going over to Kobe. Kobe actually got training from Garp sooner, so he's actually a lot better built. I'm said Kobe that we saw him when he met Luffy after the Water 7 fight with CP9. Kobe's actually right there right now. So he can actually take on Morgan by himself, and he does, by knocking him out. And Helmeppo's at that same strength too, that he was when he met Zoro after the fight with the CP9. And they're and now they're gonna arrive at Little Garden. And I'm gonna say Luffy's been here before, and the giants aren't there right now. But Luffy will screw that, the giants are going to be there. Luffy's been there, but he didn't interfere with the giants, because Shanks told him not to, and just let them be. The giants saw the Straw Hats avoiding them. No, when Luffy was there, he saw the giants fighting. The giants saw Shanks and Shanks avoiding them, so he's going to let them be too. He sees the Straw Hats trying to talk to them. Dory and Brocky are gonna be like, hey, let's finish our duel. And Usopp can't shut his big mouth and says whatever. You guys never be able to beat our captain. He will just like do a thing where he puts his head down and like there's like blue all around him. That's when they'll say, "Oh yeah," and try to strike Luffy. Luffy would just like swing both of his swing one arm out and use armament, and like the blades will just be stuck there on impact. But I forgot who else was there. But the guy with like, the explosion and the girl that can increase her weight. They end up finding the crew, and when the guy with the bombs tries to fight Usopp will actually have a lot easier time with him. And he's gonna end up using Tabasco Star and shoot the guy in the eye this time. The guy's just gonna be in agonizing pain until Usopp will use Blood Star and hit him directly right between the eyes, which will just knock him unconscious from being hit with a giant lead ball square in the face. I'm gonna say Usopp actually built Kabuto and the climb attacked earlier and a lot more efficient. So, and Nami will actually take care of the girl that could increase her weight by like hitting her with like a lightning bolt in the chest, like she did Khalifa. I'm mixing up Dragon Ball Super with this. Alright, that's the end of this part. So, have a good day. Like, subscribe, and notifications are optional.